All right, greetings, and welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. This is Brian, and we're going through some clips today, starting with the lat pull down. Got a little bit of a forward lean, focusing on engaging the core and the lats. And here's a short inversion, different variation of angle on the cable. And then we're kind of going through a little bit of a drop set, focusing here on control. This is sped up, so slowing it down in real time and focusing on that connection, that mind body, mind muscle connection, which you can see here coming off pretty well. Some of the better core control I've had really ever at 41. And we're looking back at a period when I was probably better overall at calisthenics, a bit younger, maybe even a bit lighter than I am now. And I'd say this is better than I've ever been able to achieve as far as control and feeling that full body control, that full body kind of strength building up towards that front lever. So nice to see. Here we're getting those arm circles, wrist circles, a nice warm-up routine, great for if you have wrist problems, tennis elbow, using the computer too much, and adding in the upper body full hinge to hugging reach or just full on overhead reach with that nice long extension. Here also getting the triceps involved and getting some stretch through the different angles of the triceps, again, to help release shoulder, elbow, wrist tension. So that's a great way to incorporate some warm up into like an upper body routine or any type of calisthenics. If you have some injuries, try incorporating that before you work out. Try doing it more regularly, and you can see how naturally the rope flow encourages some of these movements in a sequential way. We're getting a lot of these spirals, a lot of internal external rotation, and just subtle movements through the elbows, through the shoulders and the wrists, which is nice. Obviously you can see how releasing the range of motion in the joints, in the shoulders, getting that upper body control. Rope flow is a very interesting tie-in, and I think just incorporates a lot of that counterintuitive balance where obviously adding more muscle, you can start to get tight, lose range of motion, get bound up in that upper trap and neck area. So rope flow really forces you to still be able to maintain range of motion, even if you're putting on a bit of muscle in that area. Okay. So just another option to incorporate into your kind of maintenance routine. And again, we're approaching it from the simple core fundamental movements that you want to include every week. You want progressive overload. You're focusing all the in between things as far as nutrition and sleep, balancing all that out, focusing on your energy cycles. You're focusing on just making sure that fascia is active and ready to go. And so when we're looking at these subtle movements, these maintenance things in between the larger, more consistent movements, it's really just making sure that the fascia is where it needs to be. The body is aligned, and we're getting ourselves ready to be more powerful, more agile, to actually incorporate more movement and more range into our routine as we increase and take that progressive overload higher and higher and higher. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you next time.